The first step is to place our hand on the paper towards the bottom and towards the edge of the paper. We want to make sure all of our fingers are on the paper, and we're going to take our pencil and trace our hand. Make sure you take your time when you're tracing your hand. You want to make sure that the pencil is right up against your fingers and you go slow. That way it'll be easier to cut out later. When you get to the bottom of your hand, you can remove your hand and just connect the two lines together. Now we're going to trace our other hand. This one might be difficult because you're tracing with your non-dominant hand. So you want to make sure that you go extra slow. Take your time. It's okay if it's a little shaky. It's okay if it's not perfect. Just try your best. And again, when you get to the bottom of your hand, you can remove your hand and just connect the two ends together. Step 2 says to draw 2 circles on the red paper. So you want to make sure that your circles are nice and even, and they're not too big or too small. For step 3, we're going to draw 2 lines from the edge of the circle to the middle of the circle, kind of making like a pizza pie slice. We're going to do that for both circles. When we cut out the handprints we made, you want to make sure we go very slowly, following the lines we drew. We're going to cut out the other hand the same way we did before. If you want, you can do what I did, and you can cut the extra parts off and save that for later. That way, you have a little less paper to work with when you're cutting. Step 5 says to cut out both circles and the lines in the circle. So what I'm doing is I'm taking off the extra paper, and now I'm going to go very carefully, and I'm going to cut out my circles first. Notice how I'm pivoting the paper rather than the scissors. That makes it easier to cut and have more control. Now that my circle is cut out, I'm going to cut the lines in the middle. Notice I didn't cut all the way through and I stopped halfway. I cut both lines and I kind of pulled it out. You're going to do the same exact thing for the other circle and lines. Now that we have all of our pieces cut out, we're going to glue the bottom of both handprints together. We want to make sure that we position it so that both of the thumbs are facing up. We're going to put a small amount of glue right on the bottom of the hand where the palm is. Once we have our glue down, we're going to put the other hand on top of the glue just like that. Remember, you want to make sure the thumb is facing up towards the sky. Step 7 says to glue the circles on the pointer fingers or index fingers with the cutout facing up. So I just put a little dab of glue and I put my circle with the piece that's cut out facing upward. That is going to be the crab's claw. You're going to do the same thing to the other side with the other circle. Just a small amount of glue on the pointer finger and position the circle with the cutout facing up. For step 8, we're going to draw an eye on each of the thumbs at the very top. Now you can draw the eyes two ways. You can draw a circle and fill it all the way in, just like this. Or you can draw a circle and then another smaller circle in the middle and then color in around it to create a pupil. Finally, step 9 says to draw a smile in the middle of a crab. Now you can leave the middle of the smile blank if you want to, just like this, or you can color it in like this, whatever you prefer.